The final day of the first session of training camp is done. Let's talk about it.
Inside, and a beauty! Hall running free! Brees Hall inside the 10! He's gonna score!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to be recapping what was a phenomenal day 4 of training camp. Now, this is the last phase of the no pads, just thump level of training camp. They're going to take tomorrow off, and then on Tuesday, they're going to come back and they're going to be in full pads, and we're finally going to be able to see what this team really is, and the competition between the offense and the defense. And today was a day dominated by defense. The defense absolutely astonishing today, doing a fantastic job of keeping the offense in check. Now, this is to be expected. This is no reason to be worried. Remember, the defense did not have as much turnover as the offense. When we look at key positions, the offensive coordinator, quarterback, wide receiver room, the offensive line, the running back room, the offense has had a ton of turnovers, but also when we're just in thump mode, it's really hard for offensive linemen to really get a grasp and to stop defensive linemen. Without shoulder pads and without the pads in general, it's really hard for offensive linemen to get their grips and get their hands where they need to be. So this is to be expected, but that does not take away from the fact that this defense absolutely dominated. The first player that I want to talk about is a player that I'm going to be talking about him all off season and until the week starts and probably into the year, because if he can step up, and it looks like he is, it looks like this coaching staff really believes in him, and that is Jermaine Sherwood. And it is clear to see from all of the first team reps that it is Jermaine Sherwood's job at linebacker to lose. They believe in this kid. They think that he is the middle linebacker of the future, and I'm for it. I agree with this take. I agree with this ideology and this mentality and this move. So you love to see that from the New York Jets. But let's talk about arguably the most dominant player in all of the defense when it comes to this first session of training camp, and that is Jermaine Johnson. We know that Jermaine Johnson got a ton of love from a lot of the defensive players, talking about how he buckled down and went to work, and he got bigger, and he got faster, and he got stronger, and he got more explosive, and all of that. However, it shows in the tape, and in training camp and in the moves. The first team offensive line and the second team offensive line have not been able to figure out a way to stop Jermaine Johnson. There were multiple plays that have happened where if we were in pads, if we were tackling, if we were going full speed, would have resulted in a sack for Jermaine Johnson. And Jermaine Johnson said that his number one goal is to get more snaps percentage this year, and there's going to be a legitimate argument for why he shouldn't be on the field. And the dude is doing incredible things. Another solid day from free safety Tony Adams. He's taken another step in almost solidifying his job as the free safety for this football team. When we look at the snap counts for who's running with the ones and who's running with the twos, Tony Adams is taking a lot of his reps with the ones, and that is phenomenal. DJ Reed, Sauce, Michael Carter, really everyone on the defense having themselves a really strong day. DJ Reed specifically today having a lot of really good plays on players that are hard for a guy of his size to make plays on, but it doesn't matter. A great pass breakup on Tyler Conklin, which is a name that we'll talk about a little bit later, and just some really good things there. Michael Clemens, everybody's favorite hitman, had himself a really good day as well. He's been given an elevated role and an elevated responsibility in training camp with Will McDonald still being out with his injury. And he is making the most of it, playing on the outside, playing on the inside, and just showing his new body and his versatility. And that's really it when we come to the defensive side of the ball. This is a story of defense when it comes to training camp, and it's phenomenal. Now let's talk about the offense. Aaron Rodgers and the offense, they jumped out to a really slow start when it came to practice. The defense was unable not the defense. The offense was unable to really get going with the offense. Now, there were plays and they were dinking and dunking, and we saw this from the first team and from the second team offense, trying to take what the defense was giving them, but the problem was the defense wasn't really giving them much, if anything. As the second part of practice came up and we started seeing, different sessions start to happen in the passing / sub package situations, but also, the red zone situations, the offenses started going. We all have seen that clip of Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson connecting in the end zone. Aaron Rodgers looking spry and getting out of the pocket, hitting Garrett Wilson in the back of the end zone for a 2-toe tap swag. Phenomenal. Their chemistry is starting to build up more and more and more. And the great thing is you can see that they're actively working on it. There was a play where it was an intended passing play, and Aaron Rodgers had to throw the ball away. And afterwards, him and Garrett Wilson got together because it seemed like Aaron Rodgers was expecting a wide receiver adjustment to come, and it didn't happen. And it's just that moment Aaron Rodgers is taking the time and taking the opportunity to teach Garrett Wilson what he wants him to do in those situations. And slowly but surely, they're becoming a very, very, very good pairing together. But you can see the contrast of someone who has chemistry with Aaron Rodgers versus someone who doesn't. A great example of that is Allen Lazard and former Green Bay wide receiver Malik Taylor. They know Aaron Rodgers. They know what Aaron Rodgers wants. And today was arguably Allen Lazard's best day of practice because of that relationship that they have with each other, and Allen Lazard knowing what Aaron Rodgers wants, and Aaron Rodgers knowing Allen Lazard's skill set. Absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to start seeing more of those things from Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. But another player that is quickly becoming Aaron Rodgers' best friend out there on the field is tight end Tyler Conklin. Now, all of the tight ends are absolutely dominating and taking an advantage of the opportunity in front of them, given by the fact that CJ Uzomah is currently out with injury. That being said, Tyler Conklin has been getting targeted often, and those connections are looking really, really good with yards after the catch opportunities, with giving him the ball underneath, but also designed pass plays for Tyler Conklin. There was a beautiful play in the red zone that got Tyler Conklin into the end zone, and it was just, again, another beautiful ball placement by Aaron Rodgers. And we would not have a day if I didn't talk about my two favorite second-team players as of right now, Zach Wilson and Jason Brownlee. And while Zach Wilson could not match his level of production that we saw yesterday, he did have himself a good day today. It wasn't nearly as good as yesterday, but we're starting to see the things that we haven't seen from Zach Wilson in the past, and he's making a legitimate argument to say not only should he be on this team to fight all the haters that want Zach Wilson to be traded away, but number two, that he absolutely deserves to be QB2 because he's operating the second team offense very, very well. And in my opinion, the star of the second team offense, a guy who has made himself almost a lock to make the roster, is Jason Brownlee. Another day of this kid absolutely just killing it, and there's no other way to say it. That's what he's doing. He is absolutely killing it. He has quickly become an Aaron Rodgers favorite. He's quickly become a fan favorite. And if he's not wide receiver 6 by the end of training camp, something had to have gone drastically wrong. And the last thing that I'll touch on is this running back room, which is it's blown wide open. While Michael Carter has fallen off a bit and Bam Knight has stepped up quite a bit, there is still a full open competition when it comes to the running back room. Michael Carter, Bam Knight, Izzy, and Dye all have a really, really good opportunity in front of them because I think personally they all have an equal opportunity to make this roster. With Breece Hall out, with Dwayne Brown out, with CJ Uzomah out, all of these rooms are having incredible competitions. The offensive tackle room, the running back room, the tight end room, and you're starting to see these guys really, really shine. Guys, I'm super excited that the first week and the first sessions are done. We're seeing a lot of good things, and we're seeing the progression that we need to see from the offense, from the defense, and just what we can expect from this football team moving forward. We're going to be recapping the whole first week later on today, so stay tuned for that video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button not to miss it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and last but not least, go Jets.